coming purely to economics and finances, there are some white elephants in the Sri Lankan government, in the sense of state-owned enterprises, and also the debt or the loans that have been taken from countries like China and India. How are you going to reconcile them? Especially the Chinese ambassador apparently said that it's going to be very difficult for them to have this IMF restructuring coming in, and they may not be able to help you. Have you had any discussions, any dialogue with the Chinese? We'll come to the Indian part a little later, but the Chinese seem to be a little surprised and hurt that you've gone to the IMF.
Yeah, actually, the first thing is, yes, some of our state-owned institutions are really bleeding the treasury, bleeding the nation. Those in Sinhala, they call it a Deshiya Sampad, that it be national assets. No, these are not assets. These are actually cancerous institutions which are bleeding the whole national budget and thereby the national economy. For example, the Ceylon Petroleum Corporation, Ceylon Electricity Board, and the railways and the transport board and the Sri Lankan Airlines. If you look at it, the losses are colossal. So no point of trying to maintain them at the expenses of the public. What public don't understand is it is they who have to ultimately pay this. I know that those are the problems that we don't understand. It is the taxpayer and the public, tax either directly or indirectly, has to bear this. In Sri Lanka right now, direct taxation is just 20%. 80% come from the indirect taxation. That means everybody in this country are paying for it. So we need to relook at this and find a way out of this. And the other the dangerous thing is we have an oversized public service with 1.6 million employees. You can't maintain that kind of a public service. When we got our independence in 1947, we have just one public servant for 100 people. Now we have one public servant for almost for one adult, or so that you can't maintain that kind of public service for a country like that, us. So our money that we are right now getting it in terms of income is not enough for us to pay the wages and the welfare measures alone. Leave aside the interest payment, leave aside the capital development. That bad is the situation. So people have to open their eyes and see the reality. As far as the IMF the discussions are concerned, do we have a choice? I don't think. We have gone to IMF on 16 times. This is the 17th time we have gone. I thought we should have gone long before, because this is the most serious financial crisis Sri Lanka has ever faced, and this could have been predicted by those who were in charge of the whole thing. They should have, if they had a slightest look at our cash flows and the obligation, they should have foreseen this is going to come. So how to get out of it? Only way out is to go to the best possible doctor in the world, whether we like it or not. That's the IMF. So you go to them, you identify the flows, and that is how we get the confidence of the others also to come on board, like the World Bank, like the ADB, like the multilaterals and the bilaterals, and everybody, even India to China, India to Japan to US to everyone wants that. That's how. And that's the only way for us to get the market taxes back. In Sri Lankan history, no government has paid their loans by earning or through growth. They have taken a bigger loan and paid it. So that's why we got over it. So this is right now what our problem is. We don't have market access. Therefore, we can't take a further loan and pay. So that doesn't mean that our government or our president had done bad. Unfortunately for the others, you had a credit card still to use. So we have lived on a credit card. Now we have come to a situation that you can't use the credit card. So all of a sudden, all the banks are at once come and say that, where is the money? We can't lend you any more money. Please pay. So in that kind of situation, what do? We have no other choice other than going to IMF and talking to them and getting their support, technical support, structural support, and also finally probably the bailout support in order to get our economy back on track. So therefore, I understand no creditor would like for a haircut in terms of their capital readjustment or reprofiling it. But what can we do if we can't pay? So we never had a choice. We were to pay about 2 billion in 2 to 3 months. We did not have the money, so we have to say that we can't pay, and the only way out is to go to IMF, get their bailout, and start negotiating. So in terms of that, I understand. I hope that our Chinese friends who have been our long-standing friends for a long period of time, will understand this and cooperate with us in the larger framework so that we will quickly go through the restructuring process and start having access to the market.